This is so ghetto. The curtain. Yeah.
Yoo-hoo. Yeah,
Man, we're back.
We back.
We be back, people.
Back from the dead.
Oh man, Jose.
I can't get in the
So
chair.
we're adjusting here. Oh yes, turning and twisting,
Yes.
just like politics and the news. Let's get right into it, bro.
All right.
Let's get right into this.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, first of all, I want to say hello, and I'm glad we're back here
Yes.
doing another podcast for the Mind Behind the Curtain. We went on a hiatus because they took some of our videos down, man.
Yeah, they
A couple
did.
of our videos down.
And also, I lost hair.
Well, don't worry,
No,
man. I'm there already, so
Yeah.
it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. But let me say that everything we predicted has come true.
Everything
And
from day one.
From day one.
From 2019 all the way up to this day.
A lot of people called us crazy.
Yep.
We had a lot of arguments with people when all this started with the pandemic and the vaccine and calling COVID like a flu or calling it the flu-like symptoms.
Yeah.
And people were like, no, it's not the flu. Anyway, I don't want to go back into it. We argued. A lot of those people have been debunked. A lot of people have been like told the truth now, the sort of the truth. And now some of them feel dumbfounded.
But the thing is, they don't want to believe us because we're nobodies in retrospect, right? But when it comes to Joe Rogan's, when it comes down to the Russell and all those guys, then they believe it because they're people that are known in the podcast world.
They're influential people, you know,
but we were first.
And how are you going to defy what you hear on the news, what's been thrown at you by CTV, Global, you know, which are all government funded. And then how are you not going to listen to your government, man?
Yeah.
You know? But a lot of people have woken up to the reality that this government is corrupted. And by all means, it needs to be corrupted because there's a lot of people out there, civilians, that are corrupted themselves. And hey, that's just a way of life, right?
Yes.
And it's so evident because look at what's going on right now, man. Okay? In my opinion, this whole thing about shooting down balloons and UFOs.
First of all, let's get one thing straight about UFOs.
All right, man, hit it.
UFOs don't mean they're little green men flying around in freaking objects or whatever.
Like how they painted it back in the 1940s.
Exactly. UFOs are unidentified flying objects. So that means it could be anything that they don't know what it is. Right?
They're trying to come up with the right wording to confuse people because UFOs have been connected to the flying saucers, right? So that's the point that Jose is trying to make, that when you talk about UFOs, you immediately think aliens, right? But the government or the people that have the influence over the masses have realized that they need to change the acronym to that UFO, and now they call it the UAPs, and then the flying
ass projections,
as projections from the fucking ass of liars.
Astral projection. Right?
So
I don't even know what the hell it says.
No, it's not artificial, but some type of like man-made vehicles.
I don't know. I'll look for.
So you can look it up if you want. And the thing about this whole shooting down balloons and all that, you can hear it on the news how they portray it as something that they don't know what it is. They don't want to tell you what it is. They just leave it up to you to assume that it may be some UFOs. And there's tons of videos out there, bro. There's tons of videos out there.
The TikTok?
Yeah, that are like, you know, made from the basement of a young teenager to like professional videos made by the military. And in my opinion, these balloons have been around forever, man.
They're not called UPAs
or whatever. But I know what you mean. But like, look at Roswell, right?
Yeah,
they were talking about weather balloons way back in Roswell. Like, come on, people. And the thing is that when the government does something like this, obviously there is something
UAPs.
Way behind it. Right? There's something behind all of this, man. And what are they called?
They're called UAPs.
UAPs, yeah.
I don't get the definition. I can't find the definition of it.
Oh, the acronym for it?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say to you, to the viewers, is that there is something else that is going to happen after this whole shooting down the balloons is over. And in my opinion, I think that the government wants to create this alertness about protecting our airspace.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now they've given the go for American airplanes to cross over into Canadian airspace. So what does that mean? That means that at any given moment, these Americans have the right to come over into our airspace.
Well, first of all, let's get one thing straight. NORAD was a joint venture between Canada and the US, right?
Okay, yeah.
And they haven't upgraded the system for more than 20 years. And now all of a sudden there's $40 billion going into that.
That's what it's all,
right?
it's all
for
about.
The next 20 years.
That's what it's all about, money.
$4 billion is happening this year alone.
That's right.
To upgrade. And now, you know, a lot of people are more looking up to the skies, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And now the government has come forward today saying, thank you for looking up and giving us notice of things that people are seeing.
Yeah, that's right. There. That's right.
And I'm just like, we've been looking at the skies forever, and we've been telling the government what we've been seeing, and they never believed us. But now all of a sudden they're starting to believe what we're saying that we do see.
Right.
Come on, like this.
And the reason why they're putting so much interest on it is because it's the right timing, bro. Mm-hmm. There's so many people believing in UFOs. There's so many movies that have come out about the experience of meeting extraterrestrials and other life forms, and then the conspiracy theories. And it's
I want to go into the conspiracy. I want to go into the conspiracy part of it.
And the reality of it is now you got the Minister of Defense, the Defense Minister of Canada, involved in this and saying, "Oh, there's an urgency. We need to put money." Trudeau is going to raise billions to protect our skies.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Already with the air defense, they're going to put.
And there's going to be so much money. And that's where the corruption
Air Force, everything.
The corruption comes into place right there because, you know, somebody's pocketing some of that coin, man.
Oh, come on. They're back.
Gangster shit.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But what were you going to say? You were going to say something about the conspiracy.
On the conspiracy side of things, of what's going on right now, there's Project Bluebeam, right?
Yeah.
We've been talking about that since day one. 100%. Of this, right? And back in 2020, we talked about it. And we said different phases were going to happen after COVID. And every phase that we predicted,
we've been
banged on. And that's the thing, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we were the Russell Brand and the Joe Rogans and all them cats.
Yeah.
Then
Graham Hancock, all those guys,
like we would be like, boom.
Well, we need to get your opinion. We need you guys to spread the word about our podcast because we're going to come up with some more visionary, clairvoyant things to say about where we're heading, you know. And some of our videos were taken down because we called the war on Ukraine and Russia.
We did.
We even said that Trudeau was going to disarm the civilians and then he was going to slowly take away the rights of you having your own handgun.
Yep.
You know, and we have opinions on that too. And now we can talk about it. And the thing is that eventually, if there is a threat coming towards Canada, obviously we are not a very big populated country.
We don't have an army, really.
We don't. So
Right.
what's the next step is to arm the civilians, right? But the only way that you're going to be able to arm the civilians if you make it a militant state. And I think that's where Trudeau wants to go in that direction. You know, he wants to get more involved with war. You see how much he's donated already to Ukraine.
Yeah, like billions. It's insane.
It's and in all reality, we were a nation of peace at one point. We were known for being passive.
We were known for being the people that were polite. What happened to that?
And now we're sending tanks to kill innocent civilians. And and you can tell me I'm wrong. You can say, well, the enemy is Russia. And
it's not.
Look, it's not Russia.
No.
You know, Russia has been the ally for so many years. And yes, there's been a lot of controversy and a lot of animosity built up between Americans and Russia, but it's because Russia is a superpower. They got money,
and America is a superpower, and America doesn't want to give up their superpower to be a lower version of what they are right now.
Exactly.
And that's the problem. Like, they see Russia a threat. They see China a threat. So they're putting their nose where it doesn't belong in Taiwan and Ukraine and all these situations, like they did back in Vietnam, like they did back in Middle East. It's all about money. And then they destroy everything. They go back in there with their contracts like BlackRock and all these other JP Morgan. Yep. Everybody's going back into Ukraine when everything's destroyed, and they're going to build everything back up. But they're going to have what? They're going to have a lot to do with Ukraine after that point.
100%.
They're going to have ownership of that place.
That's a great point, man. And just to elaborate on what Jose is saying is that you've seen this pattern repeat over and over again because it's a great formula. It's a fantastic formula.
Yeah.
You create chaos and conflict between two nations, okay? Then they go at war. You feed them with weapons and military training and all this while you are fabricating or you're building all those tanks and you're creating all those tanks and you're selling all that military equipment to these countries that are in conflict. And then you say, oh, well, we are just there as peacekeepers. And then sometimes America comes in and they're the big hero. Then they destroy all the infrastructure. They destroy hotels. They destroy hospitals, schools, everything, malls, right? And like Jose said, who comes in and rebuilds? American contractors.
Exactly. BlackRock owns majority of America. They basically own it. You could say that. They probably own Canada and we don't even know it.
Oh, for sure.
You know?
Yeah, for
like
sure.
BlackRock, Vanguard, all these companies that people really don't understand what they do. They invest in other companies. And what happens is they buy shares. They have so much power and control.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
It's insane.
And that's the other thing. That's the other point that we have to make in this podcast right now, in this episode, is that a nation or a country is only powerful because of the value of the people. Okay. So these companies know that they need to have certain amount of employees or certain amount of civilians employed to work for these companies, you know, to make money. So you, the citizen, as a Canadian citizen, myself and Jose, we contribute to all of what these guys are doing at a world stage because we are taxpayers. We add value to this country.
Exactly.
You know?
And just like our taxpayers' money went to the UN for him to try to get a seat, which he never did. Yeah. But it was our billions of dollars that went to that.
Billions.
And what did that money go into the UN?
Yeah.
We're never going to see that. We're not going to see any of that.
When Prince Harry came over here with Meghan,
millions of dollars for the security. Why do we have
$5 million spent on security and all this stuff? And now they were talking about how much it's going to cost to bring in Prince Charles here. Another $3 million. Come on, man.
No.
Put that money back to the civilians. Why don't they put it back to the civilians? Because it's the echelon mentality, right? It all starts in high school, brother.
Yep.
And it's all about programming, right? So when you go into high school, you get indoctrinated or you get educated with the school system that will benefit the government in the long run. They don't want to build entrepreneurs. They don't want you to think for yourself. They want to put you in a box so that when you come out and you graduate, you are just thinking, I need a job. I need a 9 to 5.
You're basically conditioned.
And most of those people, like, either they build habits during high school, whether they become sexaholics, drugaholic, alcoholics, whatever you want, right? Or workaholics, they build an addiction. And sometimes this addictions is the detrimental, it puts them in a detrimental state later on in life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Whether they become addicted and all that. And what's the biggest killer of all of the things that kill human beings? The number one killer is debt.
Depression too.
Debt, because when you fall into debt, right, you start getting anxiety, you fall into depression.
You got fear.
You got fear because you don't know how you're going to live day to day. You know, why doesn't the government stop all this bullshit?
Big time.
Shooting down balloons that are shooting balloons with like $1 million missiles.
Yeah, exactly.
Screw the missiles, man.
Sending the money over to Ukraine and you don't know where it's being delegated to.
Dude, I wish those balloons were filled with cash.
Yeah, please. Smack them down.
And somehow just disinflate it and let the cash fall on the people, man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like a giant money piñata. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because at this point, they can make up anything if they wanted to, brother. You know what I mean? And
they have been making anything up they want, and they get away with it.
So the conclusion of this podcast, bro, this is all a diversion. It's all
smoke and mirrors. That's what it is.
That's
Misdirection, smoke and mirrors.
That's right.
Man.
Put your attention on the balloons, people.
Mm-hmm.
There's UFOs. Now, let me just clear something up. I know you and I, we've talked about aliens and all this, and I love to entertain the fact that, yes, there has been aliens in this planet and all this, and we were created by aliens and all this. But personally, I've never met an alien. I don't know the truth. All I know is that we will never be visited, man. I have that feeling.
You have that feeling. I have a different type of conclusion to that.
That's right. Yeah.
Right. I mean, basically, I believe that there is something out there, right? Mm-hmm. But it's coming from our own planet. That's 100%, what I think.
100%. And don't get me wrong. I know that for a fact, there's got to be other life forms out there. You know what I mean? Of course, 100%. There's got to be other life forms. But are we ever going to get visited by this green little man and like fucking, the Greys, the reptilians, and all this shit? No, I don't believe in that. Other people do. I don't believe in that. And for a fact, listen to the news and their lies and the way they try to manipulate you.
Exactly.
Because they're telling you, oh, it could be, we don't know, it could be extraterrestrial. The military hasn't confirmed it could be extraterrestrial. But these balloons, these objects have no mobility, no proportion.
Okay, so, now this is the funny thing is,
come on, man.
If they were alien aircraft and they were mobile, they wouldn't allow a missile from the United States to actually shoot it down. These things are supposed to be far advanced than us.
Bro, if I was an alien and I knew, because I would have already studied the humans and I would have known what kind of missiles they have and everything. I would have been like, I'm going to put a balloon and I'm going to make rainbows come out of it. And this is for the LGBTQ community. Here you go, guys. This is for you. You know what I mean? Because we are gay aliens. I would have done something stupid. You know what I mean? Like, come on. I would have had fun.
Yeah.
Because if I am traveling through the universe at warp speed, beyond light speed or whatever, and I have the propulsion to get to this planet, bro, through dimensions, through realms, through whatever, man.
Meteorites not hitting you.
I would have some fun. I swear, bro.
I know.
I would have some fun. I would project an image of Jesus when that thing blew up.
If they do come here, they would look at us like a zoo, first of all.
100%.
Primitive.
Very primitive. Very primitive.
They wouldn't even make us be a threat to them. They'd be laughing at us.
That's right.
I mean, I can't see aliens coming here saying that, okay, let's do surveillance on them, Oh, let's shoot them down. Let's try to shoot them down. Oh, we shot one down. We're going to recover it. There's no way in hell you guys are going to shoot down an alien aircraft.
That's right.
I don't care what anyone says.
And look, there's beautiful places in this planet, bro. Like there's beautiful places like paradise, in Thailand and Mexico and all these beautiful, and even here in BC, this country is beautiful. It's beautiful in nature. Some places are inhabitable. You can't live in those places, even though they're beautiful.
True.
But let's get over ourselves and stop thinking that planet Earth is the best in this whole universe.
Yeah.
No. We even have discovered planets that are like exoplanets that are like Earth.
Yeah.
So don't you think that aliens have already discovered like a whole planet that is fucking blue and beautiful?
Probably the ones that we're looking at.
Probably paradise to them, not paradise to us, but paradise to them. Yeah, bro. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for all we know, Jupiter would be like us going to a nice beach resort. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And dude, I had a dream about Jupiter, man.
Did you?
I'll tell you on the next podcast.
Shoot.
Yeah,
okay.
Dude. Yeah, dude. There's actually life living there, man, in my dream. And we'll get into dreams another time. But dude, it's protected. Jupiter protects itself with this atmosphere. But if you go beyond that atmosphere, man, it's paradise, bro.
Oh, wow.
It's freaking amazing.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the next podcast for sure.
Talk about that. But anyway, yeah. So the conclusion to this is that don't buy into the news.
Don't buy into that BS media bullshit. For real.
That's us bullshitting out.
Yeah.
Jose, bro. Thank you for watching.
Another one.
Stay tuned for the next one.